Today is great poetry reading day, which is not usually how I start conversations about executive stress, drinking, and maladaptive coping, but it actually fits more than you might think. Yesterday, I talked about my experience in the last few years with executive stress and how I dealt with it in ways that mitigate and manage maladaptive coping. Today, I want to show you how the clinical work underneath that works using a poem. So I'm going to read you a poem, and then we'll talk about why it matters. This is The Guest House by Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Here's why this matters. And I don't mean this as a spiritual bypass. Most of the professionals I work with are not struggling because they don't understand what's happening. They're struggling because they don't have a way to stay with what's happening and not use tools from the poor coping toolbox. Executive stress creates a constant stream of internal guests. Pressure, uncertainty, frustration, decision fatigue, mental overload, responsibility that doesn't turn off at the end of the day. And those experiences don't resolve just because your workday ends. They follow you into your evenings, your weekends, your time off. If you don't have a way to engage with those internal experiences, your brain will look for the fastest way to change them. That's where drinking or other maladaptive coping patterns come in. Not as failure, but as a solution, a fast, efficient way to quiet the noise, shut the door, stop the felt experience. But what this poem is pointing to is something different. Not avoidance, not suppression, not getting rid of what you feel, but building the capacity to allow, observe, and move through it without immediately trying to escape it. This isn't abstract. This is a skill. It looks like noticing the urge to check out or shut down, recognizing discomfort without immediately reacting to it, creating even a small amount of space before defaulting to a familiar pattern. That space is where change happens, because executive stress isn't going away. The demands, the pressure, the expectations, that's part of your environment. So the work isn't eliminating stress. It's changing your relationship to what shows up internally because of that stress. If you don't build intentional ways to process what shows up, your brain will default to the most efficient option it knows. For many people, that's drinking, or other ways of not having to feel what's there. This is one way to begin doing something different.